Wayman Jones. I'm in charge of the carpet cleaning and water restoration for Property Doctor Services. I'm going to give a quick training tip on how to run the Truckmount carpet cleaning systems and maintenance. The first thing you do every day, if not twice a day, is clean out the basket. It's not a fun job, but you have to do it. It maintains the system. The baskets are always in the waste tank. The waste tank is behind the Truckmount system. They always have a latch or some type of mechanism you have to remove. You can pull the lid off and reach back, and there will be a basket that looks something like this. This one's already been cleaned a little bit, but it'll be really gross, so please wear gloves and don't lick them. It's not good for you. Just put the basket back, and when you put the lid back on, make sure it's sealed so it gets suction. Now I'll go to the front of the machine. Basic overturn of the machine is, here's your pressure gauge. This is important. You want to keep this between 400 and 500 degree pressure PSI when it's on. This is your vacuum. When this is running, this is usually around the 10 to 15 range. This is your water temp. If you're running a lot, you don't need to turn the water temperature on because it will get hot over time and get really hot, and you'll be sweating more than you normally would. To turn the machine on at the beginning of the day, pull the choke out, turn the pump in switch on. Usually it'll say pump switch in, or this one says auxiliary. Just pull the choke out. And let it warm up. Once it's warmed up, you can turn the pump on, and then we connect the hoses. All right guys, now we're pulling the vacuum hose and the solution hose. The vacuum hose you always want to take up first and put down first, because the pressure hose, which is this one, will get tangled up on everything and gets caught on everything. With the solution hose or the vacuum hose, you want to grab this first coupling. It usually has a 1.5 inch line to a 2 inch line. It's just easier to pull from here than the end. So we take this all the way to the furthest point that you're cleaning. And don't skimp on the hose. If you don't pull out enough and then you need that extra 2 feet, it's really going to make life hard. After you get this hose up, you take the solution hose up to the same point. Make sure your valve is in the off position, which is perpendicular to the hose. You want this because if you're going to have, when you turn the engine on, you're going to have pressure and you're not going to be able to connect this to the wand. This is your wand. This is your tool of the day. So we're going to pull the hose and then we'll show you how to clean.
So what you want to do is work your way furthest away from the van at its highest point in the building. So in this case, we're on the 3rd floor of the apartment, and the van is on the opposite side of where I'm at now. And this is the furthest apartment there is. And we'll be working our way back, then down, then back.
When you're pulling the hose, you don't want it hanging directly all the way to the floor like this, because when you get close to the top of this, where this hose is going over, the weight will pull it down, and then you're gonna have to be walking floors to get your hose back up. So it's easier just to wrap it around and pull the weight up.
Got it.
When you're pulling the solution line, I usually I pull several feet out in the figure 8 position. So when you get to the top, you can start dropping it, and it makes your pull a little bit easier. Here you go, Jose, you wanna run that up?
Yes.
All right, to make some pre-spray for the Truckmount systems, not the portables. This pre-spray is for the Truckmounts only. We use this flex powder. You're gonna have some type of powder system in the van. We're gonna use this, and we like to use these 2-gallon pre-spray buckets because someone else can be spraying while the other person is working. When these are empty, you usually do about 2 scoops. There's a little scoop in here of the powder. Once you get that in, there's going to be some type of citrus-based cleaning booster. Most likely it'll look like this. If not, it's going to say some type of Prespray citrus booster. You kind of eyeball it, but it's about, I would say, half a cup to a cup, depending on how much liquid you already have in there. Once you pour that in, you want to fill the rest up with hot water if possible, if you can use a unit. If not, just fill it up with water and make sure you shake it real well so everything dissolves.
That it?
When you spray even all the time. So when you see a spot like that, like it's really dirty, you put more solution.
Okay.
And that's it.
So it doesn't need much, is what it's looking like.
Just spraying even. That you cover all the areas. So in this part that you have like a spot really dirty, you put more solution right there. And that's it.
Hey guys, all these are called quick connects. You pull them back, you push it on, and you push, and if it doesn't connect, sometimes you have to relieve the pressure. On these to the wand, you'll hear a click, and that means it's on. Once this valve is open though, you will not be able to get it back on without turning it off and releasing the pressure. All right, when you're doing the wands, you want to spray on pulling back. Go forward at an angle, like mowing a lawn, without the water, and then spray on coming back. You'll have a W or V shape, or triangles, what they call them, in the carpet if it's flush. The idea with the steam cleaning is you want to make sure you keep it pretty dry. You don't want to oversaturate the carpet, because then it will dry and mildew. When you get quicker at it, you can hold the water down and move faster, and then just go over it and dry. Bam. And your helper should be bringing in the hose behind you so you don't get caught up. You got enough there? When you're done and you're ready to put up the hoses, the first thing you do is come down and turn the truck mount off. You always turn the throttle down first. Once you're at idle, turn the pump off. And then turn the pump in off, and then go to the off switch. It's very important you always turn things off and on at idle, never at full throttle. It's like it's like throwing your car into park doing 50. So you want to turn that throttle down and then do whatever you need to do with the machine. Okay, when you're done with the engine turning off and you need to put the hoses up, what you always do when possible is dump the waste tank. There's a valve either on the left or the right side that looks something like this, and you just turn it to the open position and let it drain out the hose or just dump out the side. What's very, very important is you close this valve when you're done. If this valve is open, you won't have any vacuum while you're cleaning, and it leaves the carpet more wet.